All signs point to this as New York Jets general manager Darren Mougey in a press conference revealed a lot about his plans, how Aaron Glenn feels on a lot of things, and with the NFL draft upcoming, now all signs point to the New York Jets picking someone who would be a fan favorite draft selection, and we are going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And if you guys are part of that 68% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to subscribe. We have a lot of great content for you guys that you do not want to miss out on. Let's jump into the video, though. We have a lot to discuss as Darren Mougey did reveal a lot about his New York Jets plans in regards to the NFL draft. And all signs point to one thing happening after a lot was said from Darren Mougey himself. As with the draft being just now days away, 3 days away from the first round of the NFL draft and a lot of discussion about what's going to happen, we've seen a lot from Darren Mougey in this press conference, including him saying that the characteristics that are important to him in a potential draft pick is an acronym for STAR: smart, tough, aggressive, and resilient. And all signs start to point to one man, and that man is Tyler Warren. Because Tyler Warren, all these characteristics do embody him. And taking a look at some recent news from Adam Schefter, he mentioned that the Jets, who own the number 7 pick, have made a concerted effort to move in silence this offseason. As new coach Aaron Glenn put it last month's league meeting, there has been a lot less talking out of their building as they begin to focus on how to turn around a team that went 5-12 last season. So what the Jets wind up doing this week still is the subject of speculation, shrouded in more secrecy than usual, but they did recently and quietly have Penn State's Tyler Warren in for a visit, and there are certain members of their organization who are said to be enamored with the player many consider to be the top tight end in this class. So with everything happening, with the secrecy, with Darren Mougey sort of explaining Tyler Warren in a lot of ways, Matt, it feels like all signs are pointing to the New York Jets wanting to draft Tyler Warren 7th overall.
So we got this information. We got these acronym this morning, and Darren Mougey was talking about the exact type of things that he values in a prospect. And my first thought was, that sounds a lot like Tyler Warren, a guy who's tough. I mean, if you're watching Tyler Warren on film, he is always breaking tackles, fighting for more yards. He is resilient. The dude does not get hurt. The dude gets tackled so many times a game because he carries the football a ton of times a game. He is someone who is a very physical player, whether he is blocking, running routes, or trying to break tackles. And he is someone who would fit the bill for the type of person that the New York Jets are trying to build the team around. We've heard for months that our new head coach, Aaron Glenn, is talking about how he wants guys to embody what it means to be a New York Jet. And what it means to be a New York Jet is someone who is tough, gritty, resilient, and those are just words that, like I said, if you watch the film on Tyler Warren, he is a player who perfectly embodies these things. He's a person who has high levels of versatility. You can tell whenever a head coach comes to Tyler Warren and says, we want you to do this or we want you to do that, he's never a guy who says, that's not really my game, coach. He doesn't say, I'm better at this, coach. He says, yes, coach, I can do whatever you want me to do. And in college, he was absolutely right. Yes, he may have only had 1 year of production, and I understand that many Jets fans may be a little bit scared of only 1 year of production to take that guy in the first round, but it happens with tight ends all the time. And there are plenty of players in the NFL who were 1 year wonders in college, got drafted highly, and hit really hard in the NFL, namely Joe Burrow. So it is, and also Jaden Daniels, 1 year wonder, and look how good he is in the NFL. I understand these are quarterbacks, not tight ends, but tight end is a position that you have a ton of responsibilities on the football field. You have to know the run game very, very well, like an offensive lineman would. And then you also need to know the pass game as well as a wide receiver would. So a tight end is one of the positions that takes the most mental fortitude and mental strength to understand how to play. That's why it takes a lot of players a long time to figure out the position. That's what leads to a lot of older tight end breakouts in the NFL, which is why it makes sense why it could take Tyler Warren, a player with obvious talent, to figure out how to play tight end at a high level. It's going to take him a couple years, but it doesn't matter how long it takes him. It just matters that he is here. He is ready to be a top tight end in the NFL should the New York Jets draft him. And no matter how old he is, the New York Jets are going to get him on that first year contract if they draft him. They have 4 years plus the fifth year option. So they're going to have plenty of opportunities to go ahead and further develop this player and think of a ton of creative game plan things that you can do with a versatile player like Tyler Warren. We just saw in the Detroit Lions offense, Tanner Engstrand was part of an offense that put together a scheme that had a ton of different players catching the ball. We remember they were bringing in 6 offensive linemen. They were having the right tackle, Penei Sewell, catch passes. Now Tyler Warren, a guy who's already in a less creative offense at Penn State, being as utilized as he was, I really think the sky's the limit for scheme versatility when it comes to Tyler Warren in the NFL.
I agree. I think it's one of the reasons why the Jets like him is that resilience, that versatility, all of it. It does add up. And as we've talked about a bit with this tight end position and with what the Jets are doing right now, there's been a lot of talk that the Jets are quietly tanking right now. I don't think it's very... We were just talking about this right off camera before the video. I don't think it's very quiet. You don't think it's very quiet. But where things look right now, it looks like the Jets aren't necessarily like, well, this season we have to win. And if you're going to do that, and if it's going to take Tyler Warren 1 year, 2, 3 years to really break out in the NFL, then the Jets wouldn't be concerned with him not having the biggest production in that rookie year. Also, you just have to look at how the Jets have not addressed the tight end market at all, or the tight end position at all in free agency. They signed Stone Smart, who's 225 pounds and 6'4".
Don't expect anything out of Stone Smart. Expect absolutely nothing. If he does something, we'll be positively surprised, but don't expect anything out of him.
Exactly. So then after that, you look at Jeremy Ruckert, who hasn't had a great start to his NFL career. It just, where things stand right now, it just sort of feels as if there's like
I know what you're trying to say. We have 2 lottery tickets at tight end with Stone Smart and Jeremy Ruckert, but if you ever played the lottery before, you understand that your chances of winning are really, really low. Tyler Warren, it would make sense that they're building this cheap tight end room with the expectation of adding the big money add or the high a high draft pick add to that room, a high resource add in Tyler Warren. That was the word I was looking for. So this room, you don't want to over invest in any one position. So it would make sense that they're saving their money in the tight end room for a high resource investment, such as a first round pick.
I agree. I think it would make sense as well. Obviously, we've talked a lot about how we both have thought for a while it's going to be Armand Membo, which we'd both be happy about because you do need an offensive tackle still on this team. Membo is still a favorite to be picked by the Jets, but we've talked about this a lot well before Jets Digest was a thing, that week of, if the odds start to shift, there's a good reason for it. So we got to pay close attention to the odds in the coming days to see what exactly is going to happen with Warren and where he's at right now, because if his odds start to jump for that Jets pick, it is likely the Jets are going to pick him. It does fit with the moving in silence thing, and it would make sense that Aaron Glenn would like him. And as Darren Mougey said, when Aaron Glenn is passionate about a player, you know it and you can feel it. So Darren Mougey, all these comments kind of makes it feel like Tyler Warren is the guy. Maybe it's a smokescreen, though. That's the question on if it's going to be, but at this point, it feels like it's either certainly going to be Membo or Warren, if you ask me.
Hey, if you ask me, all you got to do is you got to make sure you're using that draft pick on a position that is an expensive position in free agency and a position of high value. So that is either wide receiver or right tackle. Those are our 2 biggest needs that we can draft them in that first round where the value lines up. So either a Tetero McMillan or one of the right tackles, whether it's Kelvin Banks or Armand Membo, I think they're very similar ceiling-wise. I think they're very similar prospects. Obviously, film-wise, they're very different prospects. I'm just saying, based on how good they are, if you were grading them on a 1 out of 10 scale, I would anticipate them having pretty similar grades, and I would be happy with the New York Jets selecting either one of them. If you look at where the tight ends are, the top tight ends in the NFL are paid, it's much lower. It's about the top tackles get paid about $10 million more than the top tight ends. So I'm not really sure why you would use a top 10 pick on a tight end, but what do I know?
What do you know, Matt? Seriously, I'm asking. List off everything you know for the rest of the time.
The list would be too short.
Damn it. Well, in that case, guys, let us know in the comments who you want to see the Jets pick down below. I'll be honest, I do want Membo. Not going to be upset with Tyler Warren because it'll be fun. So at least there's that. But guys, let us know who you want in the draft down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Should the Jets pick Tyler Warren? Should they wait till later in the draft for a tight end? I just did a video on that a couple days ago. You could go check that one out. And also, guys, make sure to slide into Matt's DMs and let him know personally who you want the Jets to select. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day and go Jets.